I'm Tyler Burgess of Walk With Me. I live in Eugene, Oregon, and one thing I do for my business is organize and give guided walking tours all over the world. And I'm preparing to bring people to Sicily next year. So I am checking out the hotels and the best places to go and seeing if the gelato is good. Is the wine good? I do thorough research. I've taken a boat out to a small island called Mothia. We are on a little island along the African coast. This region represents a swath of ancient Sicily from Phoenician to Greek and Arab. Mothia was bought in the early 1900s by Joseph Whitaker, a wealthy Englishman who discovered Phoenician remains while inspecting the vines on the island. I'm going to play for you Sicilian folk music recorded in the 1950s in Sicily. This is how the island may have looked in the day of the Phoenicians and the Greeks, and then we will walk around the island and see the ruins. We'll go into another room of the museum. These would have been the tombstones. This is a photo of an archaeological dig on the island. This is the Englishman, Giuseppe Whitaker, who bought the island and developed a lot of the archaeological digs, preserving the history. This would have been the tombs they found. Here's a nice museum of old farm implements. There are some nice mosaic floors still left in these ruins. In the distance, you can see the white mounds of salt on the coast. It was a small barrack built outside the main fortification area. We've now come to the south gate, built the 5th century before Christ was born. Olive groves on the island. From the sign, you can see that at one time this was a large sanctuary. I had a great afternoon walking around these ruins. This little island is very fertile. Here's some pomegranates. It's probably always windy here. This would have been one of the city gates. You can see the marks where there would have been a gate, and then you had to get your wagon around this marker here. This was a main gate from the mainland, and if you look straight across, at one time there was a walkway. Now it's covered by water, but in low tide I understand sometimes you can actually walk across it. The last time this north gate was reconfigured was at the end of the 15th century before Christ, because there was a new catapult devised. They had to rebuild the city walls to defend against it. These little boats bring us out from the mainland and take us back. These are mounds of salt they have harvested from the salty seawater here. In the winter, these terracotta tiles cover the mounds of salt over the winter. Before mechanization, these Dutch windmills were used to grind the salt, and it's now a museum, and we can go in there, and I can go up on top and get a view for us. We'll go inside, walk up the steps, and examine the salt grinding equipment here. The salt harvest takes about a year from the time they begin filling in the pans, as they're called, with different levels of seawater. It evaporates, and then they scrape out the salt, and it must sit in those mounds during the winter, protected by the terracotta, before it is actually ground into salt, little grains of salt. have a nice collection of silver Russian saltpewters. Salt was a valuable commodity. These are the salt pans. They have varying levels of depth. Really hard crystals here. They're famous for their masala wine here. I'm walking back to this train station. It's about 2 miles, and it's a lovely walk. Yes, I did sample these grapes because they're ripe and because stolen grapes are always best. As you can see, one of my favorite things is just walking down the street wherever I am in the world. This is a winery, and the trucks are lined up to take their turn to deliver their grapes. Notice how they've lined their trucks with plastic so all the grape juice doesn't leak out. You can see what they do with the grape stems.
The entry to the plant.
It looks to me like they're taking samples of the grapes of each truck.
Are bottles, it looks like, empty bottles, ready to be filled.
This is the name of the winery. The sign says Point of Sale, wine typical of Sicily. I did buy some of their wine, but I'm not sure it was from that particular processor. And this is my train station back to Trapani. This is another day when I took the train from Trapani to see Castelmar del Golfo. There's an old cart stored in this tunnel, and I will play you their carter's folk song. In this recording, we hear the driver singing as he guides the reins of his horse. The 6-line text echoes a typical folk motif, the visit to the house of a sweetheart to give her a handkerchief as a pledge of love. All these folk songs were recorded in the early 1950s in Sicily. This next one is a mother singing to her baby what all mothers sing to their babies about, wishing the baby would go to sleep. And then I took a bus to Agrigento.
The Greek temple. Ancient olive tree.
and meet my guide at the ruins.
And another one during the Roman Empire, Juno. Okay, the same thing with the other gods. Jupiter, Zeus, Minerva, Athena, Aphrodite, Venus, and so go on. Now we are
con la propria divinità. Prima di proseguire, un'ultima cosa. Quando vediamo un tempio, la sua
This is the
storia,
sacrifice
cioè,
altar
cosa
outside the
diciamo,
temple.
costruito intorno al 400.
like that one. There are one of those all over. This is a modern reconstruction, but we're talking about 1830. Big Greek. So the Parthenon of Big Greek is that one. Later, because the Greek town was the birth of the Greek town with
One of the big mysteries to me is how did they build these things? So I bought a guidebook.
Nice lamppost. This is an Agrigento. It's gonna be good.
So I'd like to share with you some of my sketchbook diary. This was a walk along the Sea of Castelmare del Golfo. This was just a wire sculpture, kind of blowing in the breeze. These are more Greek ruins in Agrigento. I'm Tyler Burgess of Walk With Me. Thank you for joining me on another program as we walk the world.